If you're able to set a boundary of space, and if you're able to set a boundary of time, you might be able to achieve something called flow. So let's look a little bit closer at flow, not her. She's easy to find. She's everywhere. We need help finding this kind of flow. Flow is intense focus. Everything else disappears. Secondly, there's a diminished sense of self. This is cool. So for those of you that raised your hand, you've probably experienced this. You're in flow, you forget to eat. You forget to sleep. Your brain stops telling you you're hungry. You should go get a muffin. That's a diminished sense of self. But for some of us, myself included, the diminished sense of self is great because your inner critic is silenced. It's like a Vulcan nerve pinch to your inner critic, right? That voice in the back of your head is just killed. There's a deep, effortless involvement, even though, as we saw in our definition, it's a difficult thing that you're working on. Time is altered. You're working for 30 minutes, you look up at the clock, it's 3 hours. And finally, there's a sense of control, because if you're this woman and you're going 40 miles an hour downhill, you need a sense of control, right? If you're this guy and you're free climbing, which is climbing without ropes, 200 feet above the canyon floor, the last thing you need is an inner critic, right? You're reaching for a foothold like this guy is, and there's a voice in the back of your head saying, I don't think you're gonna reach it. Not needed. And if you're this guy, 250 feet above an arena floor with a dirt bike over your head, you better be focused. No one in this position has ever had their mind wander. Doesn't happen. You know, I wonder what we're having for lunch. Doesn't happen. Extreme athletes find a way to control what they're doing. They find a way to silence their inner critic. They find focus, or they find themselves in the hospital, or worse, right? The stakes are dire. Now, the stakes for us aren't as high, but the rewards are the same. There's exhilaration when you create something impactful, that's meaningful, that's purposeful. You have that sense of awe, that sense of creating something that maybe is bigger than you.